All right, Lindsay, we didn't mean to wear the same outfit, but I do appreciate you getting the memo. Something that I wanted to chat about from the top. You have a big event coming up. You will be the first person with the Stoma to complete it. Can you talk to us about that?
So it's a Spartan race called DEKA Fit, which has come to the UK for the first time this year to celebrate its 10th anniversary. It's a multifunctional event. The easiest way to explain it is it's a bit like a high rocks. So there are 10 zones and 10 runs. There's a 500-meter run between each zone. That's a sandbag lunge for 25, box jump overs, wall ball throw overs, ski erg, list goes on basically, and you just have to complete it till you finish.
It's a 5K race, is that right? With all of these
Yes,
stations on it. Yeah.
yes, it's 500 meters between each zone. Yeah.
Yeah. So it really is full body and grueling from what I've seen online.
Yes, and they released yesterday that it's 3 laps between each zone. So I just need to keep that in my head and not lose count of how many laps I've done.
Yeah. How are you feeling about it?
I was okay until a few weeks ago when I got a notification that I've got a time cap. That's
Okay.
thrown me off a little bit.
What is the implication of this time cap?
Yeah, so I've been put in for a Guinness Book of Records to complete it. And the time cap is I've got 2 hours to complete the race. And if I don't do it in the 2 hours, I don't get the Guinness Book of Records. So no pressure.
No pressure whatsoever there. Have you run this sort of course before? You know what it
Never,
feels like?
I've never done CrossFit, never done high rocks. Quite a few people have said I can't even believe you're training in a commercial gym, but I'm making it work. Yeah, I just wanted to challenge myself and see how far I could push myself. So that's what I've done since March.
Why did you choose this one?
It was actually a friend, Nick. I was like, I need something to get my teeth into. I need a challenge. I need some purpose through my training. Come to the UK for the first time, and it was kind of meant to be. Did a bit of a deep dive into it. Thought, yeah, I'm going to give it a go. And then I did a bit more of a deep dive into it, and then it turns out that no one has done it with a stoma, which is kind of how it's all escalated a little bit.
I think there are two layers to this. What would completing it mean to you personally on an athlete level, on a Lindsay level?
For me, it would just be a huge achievement in itself that I've done it. But also, I think I always took, I suppose, exercising a bit for granted before my surgery. I sort of dabbled in it. I was done multiple half marathons. I'd run quite a lot. But I actually stopped running due to the amount of pain that I was in, and I couldn't run basically
Mm.
without having accidents. So I'd stopped running altogether. But the training's given me purpose. It makes me feel good. And I just want to prove a point that you can do it with a stoma and there are no limitations. And I think often we are our own limit. We get uncomfortable. We don't have to push past that boundary. And it's been hard, but I just want to be able to prove to myself that I can do it and I have done it. And to anyone else that wants to give it a go, is just sign up.
How long have you been living with your stoma?
So I had my last surgery since October 22, but previously I had a stoma when I was younger. So I had my first stoma when I was 11, then I had a J pouch surgery, then I was attacked when I was younger. So then that's how I ended up with my J pouch in the first place. And then from there, just before COVID, I was told basically I need to go back to having a bag or I wouldn't be here in a nutshell. And then between that gap, they found out I had a fibroid lump on my uterus. So the only way to get my J pouch out was to do a full hysterectomy. So I had my hysterectomy, my permanent ileostomy, and my proctectomy surgery at the same time, which was October 22. So 3 years this October.
That's a huge amount of change for any one body to go through.
Mm-hmm.
How has that impacted you on maybe on an identity level, would you say?
I've been a bit lost, if I'm honest,
Yeah.
in quite a lot of periods of my life, I guess, through medication and body change, body image. But for now, I'd say I'm not fighting anymore. We take medication because it helps support us in what we need at
Mm.
that time. My body image has definitely changed. I've fluctuated through weight. For me, I'm a big advocate of just go and buy a bigger pair of jeans because no one's going to see a jean size. Right now, where I am, I'm probably more confident with my body than I've ever been because I'm not in any pain anymore.
From what I understand, that carries over into your work as well.
Yeah,
That an amount of your building and rebuilding as a person comes from helping other people.
Yeah.
and you work as a head coach to help people through what you've just described to me as the white spaces.
Yes, that's it.
Could you?
I call it the white space because I find we go to hospital, whether it's planned surgery or it's emergency surgery, then you're released from hospital and it's as I call it, the white space. There's no conversation really. It's kind of how many times can I talk to my stoma nurse, or can I go back to hospital at this point? What do I do with my prescriptions? When can I get back to exercise? Don't eat these foods for a really long time, don't lift weights. The books that you get from hospitals can be quite negative, I find. So the white space is what we feel. So we are a rehab program that gets people back into fitness after stoma surgery, or even if they've had it for a long time and they just want to get back into exercise. It's just doing it the right way. It's just navigating it in the right way, making people feel confident within their bodies again. And then just also having a conversation in that mental space, which I think is really important because even though our bodies are healing or have healed, our minds are not quite caught up with everything that's happened. So I think it's really important that we have those conversations and then we deal with those conversations in we need to grieve for our old bodies because sometimes we're not going to go back to that. And I think that's an important conversation to have.
Do you think there's an element of the support that you give that comes from support you've had or support that you might have hoped to have received?
Yeah,
How,
so there was when I was younger, there was no support at
yeah,
all. I have to say, the nurses were amazing, but there was nothing. So after my attack, I was offered one therapy appointment, and my parents were offered two, which was quite bad. There was nothing. There's no one really to talk about. There wasn't anyone to talk about stoma surgery back then. There's a huge community out there now that advocate for stomas and just getting back to, and I hate using the word normal, but just have finding their own new routines. And everybody will be different, but I'm so grateful for that space because they're all doing amazing. And it just shows that you can do things. Everyone just has their own time on it, and it just will take them time to get that to that stage. And I just wish there was somebody that could scoop everybody up from the hospitals and just make sure that that white space is kind of covered, but we can't do that worldwide. It's very different, and we're very lucky here in the UK as well for what we do get.
how do you think you could help people understand or maybe be kinder to themselves around the topic of their best? When we talk about doing your best,
Yeah.
I feel that there's a distinction to be made between what the best is, the ideal, the paragon, and
Mm-hmm.
what somebody's best is. And I know for me that I've gone through various stages of what best is, whether that's with academia or with gym training or with running or being a good partner or friend, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
When you help people to find their best, what does that look like?
I think our best is always going to change because you're always moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
When it comes to my friends, with my training and stuff now, I've been very open and I've said, you might not see me for months because I'm doing this. That they completely understand. It's just being open and honest. It's saying how you feel. Like I say, we move the goalpost all the time. We're all perfectly imperfect. We need to learn to fail, and fail gives us growth. And failing is okay, and you can pick it up as many times as you want, and everybody will be different in that space.
When did you accept that it was all right to fail? Can you remember that first?
Probably after my stoma surgery because I am not very good at failing. I don't like it. It's a horrible feeling. But I am learning. I am learning that that is giving me more growth than anything. Life's messy, right? Life is messy. Let's just face it. But just showing people that you can just find a new routine. It just takes time. You need to find your own footing first. Body acceptance, mental acceptance, there are all those emotional cognitive skills that you need to put into place. But it's knowing how to channel those things, trying to show the other people that you can do that. And I think that's okay.
Representation and help with other people on a broader scale. And you've mentioned a charity to me that I know that you are looking to run for.
Yeah.
And I've seen that you were on a recent Crohn's and colitis charity page.
And Crohn's and colitis has been amazing. They're a really good charity. They help out quite a lot of people. I know lots of people are signed up, which is why obviously I'm raising money for them as well because they've been amazing actually. So yeah, had a webinar with the CEO a couple of weeks ago, so that was quite good.
And in terms of scope, am I right in thinking there are 500,000 people in the UK living with
Mhm.
Crohn's and colitis?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so that's a significant percentage of the population.
Yeah.
And when it comes to understanding that these people, I imagine, are people who have a diagnosis. There could be people who don't yet have a diagnosis, for instance, to be folded into those numbers. What would your advice be of maybe experiencing IBD symptoms and knowing when to ask for help?
Don't be fobbed off. I was misdiagnosed for about a year when I was 9. I was told I had a stomach ache, I had ulcers, I was bleeding from my rectum, I'd lost a dramatic amount of weight. And I was fobbed off with the fact that I had braces. That's where the ulcer had come from. So they sent me to go and get wax. If anyone's had like train tracks, you'll know the wax helps with the ulcers, bleeding, losing weight. I was a girl, I was going through maybe just starting up with my cycle, my periods and stuff. So I was fobbed off. Don't you know your own body? Go and get it checked. If you know something is not right, keep advocating for yourself. That's my biggest thing, I would say.
We were saying just before the call that, as we get older, we have a different appreciation for our bodies. And you've described major surgeries. You've described how maybe the way that you feel in your body now is at its best almost because you're not feeling pain. We've also discussed how medication can impact how your body looks, for instance.
Yeah.
Are you able to speak to this?
Definitely anyone on pred will understand steroids is a big, big moon phase that will kind of weight will fluctuate, constantly hungry on those things. Body image up and down with weight. I just think I'm not fighting with my body. I think there's so much out there in social media that you need to look like this. You need to be this skinny, you need to be this tiny. I don't want to be told I'm that. I want to be told I look healthy and strong. And I think that is far more important to me than anything. I am healthy now. I'm not on any medication for the first time in years, from as long as I can remember. My body is not fighting anymore, and I think that's what we need to be really grateful for. Is that it's humbling when you get to a point where you kind of go, I'm not in any pain anymore, and this is what I've got to. My body's not going to change. We look after our homes. We need to look after our bodies. That's probably my bit. The easiest way to explain it.
Feels like you've got a very progressive and forward look to your approach.
Mm-hmm.
How big do you think is the community that you're in kind of providing a platform for that?
A lot I follow on Instagram that all do have stomas. They're amazing.
Mm.
They're showing what they do fitness wise. They're wearing their stoma support belts or not wearing their stoma support belts. That is their choice. I personally wear one because that prevents my bag, blowing up. I just feel more comfortable, protects you from herniation, all those sorts of things. We're told at hospital to wear one as much as possible. It's your choice at the end of the day whether you wear one or not. But it's nice to see other people doing it because I think then that snowballs for other people to see and that builds their confidence to just go and give it a go as well. Yeah, the space is good and it's all different sports. It's not just the gym, but weight training for me has been my biggest impact in my life and my body composition change. Definitely.
When you found yourself on the track to understand what your limits were and begin to push them,
Mm.
what was that moment like for you? Because I know as a PT, for instance, that a lot of people are intimidated by weight, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people feel that going to the gym is turning left, for instance, in a lot of the gyms in Sheffield and going on the cardio, very
Yeah.
rarely turning right into the weights room. How would you advise people to know what their limits are
Mm-hmm.
and then go on to push them?
Well, you've got a gym membership and I've got a gym membership, so we're both in the same space.
Yeah.
So you're in that space already. You've bought your gym membership, just go in the weights area and try it. And it does feel intimidating because you do feel it's more predominantly men should be in that area. Just give it a go. Everyone's in there to train and work hard. And if you're worried about something, find somebody in the gym that you can ask or take a buddy with you. Anything like that. Or if you're unsure, find somebody that you can ask. Yeah, I think also for me, because I had my hysterectomy and my surgeon said to me, Lindsay, don't do too much cardio. You need to be picking up the weights and lift heavy as much as possible, because that will help you through menopause, especially as the collagen and the estrogen and everything is stripped from your body. So that is one thing that I've really dived into, is lifting weights.
It feels to me, Lindsay, that you have a legacy in the sense of having encouraged people to give things a go and to maybe look at what could be widely perceived as a limitation as an opportunity and a way
Yeah.
to approach a challenge in a different way. You also have mentioned to me what this could look like for your daughter.
Yeah, I just want her to know she'd never give up.
Mm.
It's too easy for us to give up because it's not in our comfort zone. But I just want her to know, just keep trying. And I just want her to know that I've never given up, and she's been amazing through my recovery. And, even when she was little, go and get me these tablets and stuff. And she was kind of very well trained through my journey of not being very well at all, or mum couldn't go out because I was too sick. And I just want her to know that this part now where I am at, this is the strongest where I am, and this is just the start. And I want her to grow with me on that journey, and just don't give up in life in anything you do. And it doesn't matter what you do as a job, it just matters that you were happy. That is it.
My dad was a high level runner,
Mm-hmm.
and he was, I think, really excited by the idea of the event that you're pushing for.
Amazing.
And I don't think, got to run with people who had stomas. I think when he was running in the 80s, nobody was really doing that around him. Now, why are people feeling more able to do it when perhaps they didn't? Technology, or what's come about, do you think?
Oh, I wish I kept my bag from when I was younger, because it was the difference between my stoma bag from when I had my first surgery to now.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got the Prada product of any stoma bag. Yeah, I kind of wish the development, medicine's amazing. The development
Mm.
of how things have changed and evolved is incredible. But back then, it was never talked about. I was taken out of PE. I wasn't allowed to do PE. Another reason why I got bullied at school was because, why is she not doing PE? Everyone hated doing PE at school, didn't they? Really, or majority at my school. And I got bullied for that, because why is she not doing it? But I have to do it. And there was no nurturing of understanding the condition, or she's got stone, but she can do this, but she can't do that. It was just, we'll just take her out altogether. So I did no physical education at school.
Why do you think this was and still might be? I don't want to be, to use a term, facetious about it,
Yeah.
because it's not an experience that I have had or am familiar with. Do you think maybe when you were growing up, it was an element of protectionism, but maybe other people's ignorance, other people's fear, rather than necessarily looking after you?
Maybe a bit of both, but I think it's just knowledge and understanding. I just think there just wasn't that back then. Like, and like I say, I'm not old, like there is now. There are many people talking about it on social media. People that are celebrities are actually talking about it now. It's not hidden. It's not a secret. It's not a dirty secret. Yes, okay, I technically poo in a bag, on my stomach, but everybody poos. Don't be embarrassed about it, talk about it. And I think that is the biggest thing. There's no difference if I was to wear a bikini on the beach and someone was looking. That's okay, because they don't know what it is. Or if they want to know what it is, just ask me. It's just lack of knowledge, I think. And I think it's talked about so much more now, and I'm grateful for that space. And I think it should be continued to evolve from that.
Who do you think has helped to normalize stomas, or who do you look up to? Is there a particular person that you felt inspired by?
Oh, there's loads. I better mention my friend Misha. So Misha Morad. So obviously I work with him. He's my boss as well as a really, really good friend. But there is loads. There is Beth. There is um Stoma Bay, which I follow on Instagram. There's lots of people. You could just Google people's names. But obviously you've got Louise Thompson, celebrity, that obviously she talks about hers now, which she didn't before. I think it's really nice that people have found the confidence within themselves to talk about it. And like me, my page is open, and it's open because if people want to drop me a message, they can do. It shouldn't be a hidden thing, and it shouldn't be a secret. And I'm definitely not hiding it.
I've really enjoyed just over the couple of weeks that we've been chatting, seeing the way that you're training really hard and you're on holidays and yeah, you are living life. And to my mind, it's this point of what can I do rather than what am I not allowed to do?
Mm-hmm.
What can't I do anymore? When
Yeah.
I see what you're posting, it's a case of, you know what, I would like to work out today.
Yeah.
Or I'm a little bit jealous of Lindsay, she's on a beach.
There's no difference. If you went to the gym, not every gym session is going to be the same. You're going to have a rubbish session as well. So will I. But it's okay to have slower days. And I think when we've, especially for me, and I can talk for me, but I think because I've been so ill, I then have been better. And I kind of feel like I'm 100 miles an hour. And then it's kind of like, where do you stop at that? I said okay way too many times because I wasn't okay, but it was just the easiest option to say that. I generally am okay now. And I think that's the biggest thing that I kind of hold on to is kind of, I do want to go a million miles an hour because I kind of feel like I've missed out on quite a lot.
I think I know what you mean by saying okay. When you haven't felt okay, you said that you have, or you said
Yeah,
that you are. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if a friend said to me, "Oh, I'm okay," I'd be like, "Should we unpick that? Okay, like, are you really okay?" Because is it easier to say that than actually say, "No, I'm not okay," because we're worried about the consequences of what people are going to say.
Mm,
It's easier emotionally to say, "I'm okay," but actually, we need to be able to say, "I'm not okay," and ask for help, and that's what people struggle with.
for sure. The approach that I've taken with my friends, and maybe you've done something similar, is to ask the question twice.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not a dissimilar effect to Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting when he says it's not your fault
yeah,
repeatedly to Matt Damon's character. That
yeah,
actually, if you are asked a question repeatedly, you will start to feel a different response to it.
absolutely.
So, if people want to stay up to date with the DEKA event you got coming up,
Yeah,
they can go to your Instagram. Is that right?
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And do you have any other links, any other places you'd want to send people to?
So I've got Bag Life for Chronicles on Facebook, which you can do, which is identical to Instagram, but it's just whatever channel you use.
Perfect. It's been absolutely class to catch up with you, Lindsay. Thank you
And
for your
you,
time.
thank you for having me.